Hi everyone, my name's Will and this is Your Spiritual Will, and thank you for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to talk about ascension and some of the things that I've learned while on my spiritual path. Hopefully you guys can use some of this information and apply it to your spiritual journey. When you're on your spiritual journey, just be prepared for pushback from others. That just is what's going to happen, because you are going against the grain. You are going against what the system is set up to be and what you're supposed to do in that system. From birth, we've been programmed to do, think, and react certain ways. Most are not natural for us to do. For instance, when you're a kid, one of the first things a kid learns, usually around 2 years old, and that's why it's called terrible twos, is because everything you ask the child to do, they're going to say, no, I don't want to do that. That's one of the first things we learn, is to say no. But what is one of the things that as parents we have to teach our kids is, you can't say no to everything, okay? Which, that's understandable. But that's also one of the most important things, is to be able to say no to things. When you're not allowed to say no to things when you're young, then as an adult, it's even harder because you're already programmed, you're already taught not to say no. And then you wonder why as adults you're stressed out, you got a million things going, none of those things are completed 100%. You're getting pulled in a million different directions. You're trying to please people, you're trying to, weigh not only their demands and expectations, but you're trying to work in some stuff that you want to do, that you like to do, that you love to do. You're trying to work that in as well. That doesn't work. You also go, okay, we're not going to do that right now, but we do need to do that at some point. But I understand you don't want to do that right now, but later on we're going to have to do this. And I think having that reinforcement of no means no and yes means yes, I think that would benefit us greatly as adults. So if you are a parent, think about your life. Think about all the things that you say yes to because you feel like you have to. Otherwise, people may not like you. Otherwise, you may be thought of a certain way. That's not fun. But that being ingrained to say yes starts somewhere. And it starts at a very early age. It's what every parent has to do. And when you have a kid, it's not like you're given a how-to book. After birth, you get this manual on childhood. Some of it you have to learn on the whim. And sometimes you have to, just do the best you can. I mean, that is parenting. And I applaud parents that can do that. But once we're 100% programmed, we've graduated into the matrix. And once we've graduated into the matrix, then we're rewarded as such. You go to school, for 12 years, and if, the system hasn't beat what intuition that we all have within us as children, but part of the matrix is getting that intuition beat out of you. So once you've had that beat out of you, if you haven't had it beat out of you within the 12 years that you go to school, then you're going to have it in the 4 to 8 years of college afterwards. Once you graduate into the matrix, then you get rewarded as such. You get a high-paying job, you get a car, you get a house, you get married, you have kids, you send them to college and get them to be part of the matrix. And it's a never-ending cycle. And for those of us that realize that we're in a matrix and have that, realization that we're like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? When we have that moment of clarity, then you start to see this stuff, and all this stuff starts falling into place in your spiritual path. And then you just start wanting to learn more. You start looking for information because you realize that what you've been taught all these years, that what the system tells you is true, is not. You don't have to have that certain type of life. You don't have to do things in this order. You don't have. We are more than the system that we are in. We are infinite beings. We are divine beings. We have incarnated onto this earth at this specific time for a reason. And when you realize that, then just everything opens up. And as things open up for you on one level, they will start closing on you on a different level, on the matrix level. You will get eye rolls, you'll get left out of invites for parties, for gatherings, for family events. You'll be that person. So just be prepared for that. Because once your eyes are open, once the genie's out of the bottle, there's no putting the genie back in the bottle. There is no closing your eyes. There's only taking the information that you are getting and moving forward with it. And that may be in a divergent path away from your friends and family. Hopefully they will understand, and hopefully they'll be supportive of your new path. But just know that there will be a lot of things in your life that get turned upside down. And for many of you, you already know this. I'm preaching to the choir at this point. But don't let those eye rolls, don't let being left out of certain events, certain gatherings, maybe your friends don't talk to you as much. Don't let those discourage you, because it's not necessarily that they don't like you. It's just that you represent a part of themselves that they would like to pursue, but don't have the courage to at this point. And you're going about things a different way. And they wish that they could do that. And maybe one day they will have the courage to do so. So that should give you courage to do what you're doing right now, and looking for that information, and meditating, and just doing yoga, working with crystals, doing all of these things that the average person doesn't really do, especially if they're part of the matrix. They don't do that. So just know that it's not you, it's them. Right now, we're in the process of ascension as a society on Earth at this time. We're ascending from the 3D into the 4 or 5D. And it's our choice whether or not we want to ascend. It's each one of us a personal choice. And there are certain forces that are on this earth at this time that are trying desperately to keep certain population here in the 3D and not ascending. So just know that those forces are out there, and they are throwing everything against the wall, including the kitchen sink. Like, they're throwing everything. Just know that, and don't allow yourself to lower your vibration for what they're doing to affect your life path. Don't allow them to do that, because if you let them do that, then they win. So don't let them win. We see this ascension process right now. We see the fall of institutions. We see untouchables being brought to their knees. Certain people in our society that are considered untouchable, actually being brought to their knees. that is part of the process. That's part of the ascension process, is the breaking down of the current system so a new system can rise. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because there is an organic system that is naturally going to come up, but there's also a man-made system that is also going to try and replace this current matrix, because they see that this current matrix is starting to come apart, is starting to literally deteriorate. Kind of have to see it as an old car that's completely rusted out, and as you're going down the road, pieces are just falling off. That's what the current system is right now. So just know that there is a new system that is coming together. It is going to be interesting to see how it comes together and when it comes together. But just know that that is happening. In the end, love and light has already won. The forces that are trying to keep us in a lower vibration and a lower frequency, they know they've lost. They're just trying to hold on desperately to what they have, and trying to run out the clock. That's pretty much my message today. Make sure that you check out my YouTube shorts that I'm going to be making for Ascension Tips. I did the first one, which is stay away from chemicals as much as you possibly can. Harmful chemicals are designed to keep you in a lower vibration. They're designed to break down your immune system, your organic matter. Make sure that you are trying to eat as healthy as possible, stay in a positive vibration, be in light and love, stay away from chemicals, especially fluoride. I'll do a YouTube short on fluoride. You guys have a great day, and much light and love to all of you.